tiny home, and it costs less than $10,000, cheaper than 1 month's rent in New York City.
What the fuck, man? Boy, they planted
signatures on the Constitution of the United States. I said this is the original Epstein list. Because the 13 colonies were the original Epstein Island. That was the original Epstein Island, but maybe that doesn't count for you because the victims on that Epstein Island were all African slaves. You know, Thomas Jefferson, everyone knows Thomas Jefferson had a relationship that they romanticize with his slave. Did you know she was 14? He was in his 40s. She was 14, 13 or 14 years old, maybe younger. This is your Thomas Jefferson. This is your founding father. And like father, like son. Well, America is descending into madness. You're descending into madness because you're cursed. That's why I've said you cannot properly analyze geopolitics. You cannot properly analyze geopolitics if you exclude the reality of divine justice. You cannot exclude God from your assessments. You can't exclude Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from your forecasts. And you cannot be as unjust, as brutal, as degenerate, as wicked as America has been, and actually think that the consequences are not going to be severe. You understand? The suffering of whole continents at your hands is going to ricochet back onto America. I said you're cursed. You know it and I know it. That's the truth. We both know this. Because you can't have any sort of religious sense of justice, and not know that. Even if you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself believing in God in any way whatsoever, you cannot pretend that you don't know that America is cursed, and it has been cursed ever since you all landed over there in the first place and started massacring the indigenous people and stealing their land. What your Zionist brigades are doing to the Palestinians right now is just a fraction of what you did to the Native Americans. What Hitler did was a fraction of what you did, in fact. And you really think that you were going to be able to escape the consequences of that? Of course not. Obviously not. Why do you even think for a minute that you could escape the consequences of decimating millions upon millions of people? To think that you would get away with that, wallahi, to even think that you could get away with that, to even think that you would never be held accountable for that is blasphemy. It's blasphemous for you to think that you could get away scot-free. Especially when you have never even done anything ever since then, except to compound the wrongdoing and to add to your record of crimes. You understand me? You have done nothing to atone. You haven't done anything to atone for what you have done. You and I both know that. Genocide, chattel slavery, rape, torture, lynching, murder, dehumanization, discrimination, segregation, exploitation, subjugation, war all around the world. Well, what sort of a God do you worship that would turn a blind eye to all of that? What kind of a God did you have in mind when you say God bless America? Because I know you're not talking about the God. I know you're not talking about the creator of the universe. Bless America for what? Bless America for what? If you did what you did and then say God bless America, that's just another blasphemy. Well, you're taking the Lord's name in vain when you say God bless America. That's the truth.
Boy, that Shaheed Bolson, boy, he be going crackers, nigga, man. He be going hard. Fuck you, motherfucker, man. Wow. The brother Shaheed Bolson, he ain't no joke, man. He's going straight to your throat. Thine own lips. What is that? I think that's Job. Yeah. Job chapter 15 verse 6. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, not I. Yep, thine own lips testify against thee. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rahawah Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth through rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Matazah Lacham. Yeah, I was just going in on this video that I had seen with Shaheed Bolson. I wasn't going to go too far as stay on the video too long, because I usually end up trying to say I'm gonna stay on here 20 minutes to be on there a whole hour and something, But anyway, let's go off into what they doing at the government, because what they doing now, they trying to find some kind of way to bring in martial law across the United States, so this way they could push the radio frequency identification microchip as a means to buy and sell here in America and in the world, because the rest of the world currently has digital currency in their own currencies. And this is America's last ditch effort to try to regain the world's underlying currency of all the different nations, because all the different nations are going to their own currencies and start doing business with each other and export and import, excluding America. Okay, they made that quite clear, and all these heathen nations, based on what Mr. Bolson's saying, all these heathen nations, they all have to eventually pay for the crimes that they have done unto the children of Israel. Okay, now that's how the man started off the video. Okay, now let's go off into I'm gonna go get, damn it, where is the thing? Yeah, let's go get I'm gonna go get Jeremiah chapter 4, if I can get it, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, and they will seek thy life. Right? And this is basically what is going on with Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations that have turned against him. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealst treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they, being the heathen nations, shall deal treacherously with thee. Because America's spoiled everybody. You heard the description by Mr. Bolson. They went throughout all the earth, rape, murder, and pillage, and shedding the blood of everybody on the planet. Okay? So, yeah. NLT. What sorrow awaits you, Assyrians? In the modern day Assyrians, which ancient Assyria were a race of oppressors, right? Slave traders, stuff like that. And the modern day Assyrian is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The one thing about these Edomite Caucasians that is completely opposite of everybody on the face of the earth. All of the different nations that rule the earth, as of the dream, pursuant to the dream of King Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel, that Daniel broke down each kingdom, their rulership and whatnot. All of these different kingdoms, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is definitely a caveman. I've got a video in my shorts concerning Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. When they came out of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, and they were surrounded by evangelical Christians on one side, the Russians on the other side, and the Muslims on the other side, and Ukraine. Okay, what Ukraine is Khazaria, right? Old ancient Khazaria. In the Ukraine, the home of the Caucasus Mountains, is where these devils come from. Okay. Now, before then, they were chased into this area from Mount Seir, and these devils have done nothing since the inception of so-called white man Esau, Edom, their forefather, but rape, murder, and pillage. Mount Seir was originally, as history states, was originally the home of the Horites, right? And the Horites were an indigenous people to that mountainous region of area. Okay, they were melanated, dark-skinned people. Okay, these Edomites went into that area and conquered them. Okay, then they went over in Japheth's land and conquered them. and started calling themselves Japheth. I mean, ever since these motherfuckers came down from the mountains, man, they've been raping, murdering, pillaging, and shedding the blood of people that have no ability to fight these bastards back. Now, the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is very facetious in what he said, that he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And if you go back to Genesis chapter 27, verse 39, right? Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered him and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, right? So they'll be able to have dominion across the entire earth, go wherever they want, and the dew of heaven from above, okay? So they'll be able to have all of the natural resources in whatever place that they conquer. And by thy sword shalt thou live, okay? See? He who liveth by the sword shall die by the sword, right? Hold on. And shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob his brother, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these motherfuckers have been going throughout the earth. Wherever the remnant or the seed of Jacob is, they went directly to exterminate it, kill it, burn it, hang it, pillage it, steal from it. And these Edomite Caucasians have no originality in anything that they've ever done. They stole the ideology of oppression and enslavement from the Assyrians, okay, and the Babylonians, okay. They stole riches and commerce from the Medo-Persians, right? They stole the ideology of executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government with one world leader from the Grecians, okay. They stole their the pathology of the Roman of their of how to run an army through Roman citizenry. And every place that they conquer, they would enlist, right, or draft in the people, the men of the nations that they conquered, to expand the strength of their military and teach them to fight like they do from the Romans. So you see, these goddamn Edomite Caucasians have no originality. They're culture vultures. They steal from everyone's culture, okay, and try to make a culture of their own. They don't have a culture. Their only culture they know is rape, murder, and pillage, death and destruction, right? John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not before to steal, kill, and to destroy. This is their culture. Okay, that's all they know. They don't know anything else, man. They're thieves. Okay, this shit, there's no way around that. Okay, these people are thieves. They've always been thieves. They don't know how to negotiate. Negotiate with them is to use the sword. And what is the sword? The Most High says, okay, Revelation chapter 13, verse 9, right? If any man hath an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See? So from the beginning and the inception of Esau, Edom, going throughout all the earth and having the dominion and going from continent to continent, stealing people's natural resources, right, in order to enrich himself, the Most High had already put a plan to destroy this goddamn animal, right? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. See? The blessing that Isaac, his father, gave him was to live by the sword. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right? Right, hold on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, but that's it. But you get my point. Okay. So, right. Let me go get Jeremiah. Hold on. Where's that? Salakia. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or Shartazabawa, the Lord of hosts. Because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. Right? And lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Israel, saith the Lord. It is a mighty nation, it is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understandest what they say. Their quiver is an open sepulchre, they are all mighty men. And at one point in time, Esau, Edom, what it means by them being mighty men, okay, you could get that back to Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 17 through 19, where they came up from behind us, by the way, when we were weak and weary and thirsty, when we first came out of Egypt. And they destroyed the hindermost part of us, meaning the men, women, children, and the babies, and the old women, old men. That's how they do. They attack you at your weakest spot. Okay? Verse 17. And they shall eat up thine harvest and thy bread, which thy sons and thy daughters should eat. They shall eat up thy flocks and thine herds. They shall eat up thy vines and thy fig trees. They shall impoverish thy fenced cities, wherein thou trustest with the sword. Okay? Nevertheless, in those days, saith the Lord, I will not make a full end with you. Right? And this is what these goddamn devils are planning on doing now, man. Okay? They finna come against all of the Israelites. Okay? All they need is a black swan event big enough and controversial enough amongst all the different races in this so-called melting pot here in America. Bring this shit together to destroy the people of the Lord. This is what they're after, because they know that we're the Israelites of the Holy Bible. They just don't want the Israelites of the Holy Bible to know that they're the Israelites of the Holy Bible. And all these things are being done by direction of the Israeli lobbyists, okay, and those Israeli Bolshevik, Khazarian, Amalekite converts that call themselves Jews and are not. They run the United States government. That is the deep state that they've been talking about for years. The deep state is so deeply entrenched in the state of America, or the big beautiful bill, all this other miscellaneous bullshit. It was all originally designed to destroy America, because now that America is no longer their cash cow, because they usually get between 3.8 billion and 4.2 billion dollars per year in subsidies, in all kinds of what do they call it, in welfare recipients, all kind of different monetary compensation every year from America. Okay, and now that they've got so much money, they've been able to purchase nuclear weapons. Those Israeli converts over there, they're nuclear armed state, and they have an ideology in their brain called the Samson option, meaning that if all of the all of the different nations of the so-called Middle East, or the Western Asiatic nations of the Deep South, okay, if they all converged on Israel from all sides, Israel will push the nuclear button and destroy all the nations. All of them. Okay, that's the Samson option. Remember, Samson was blind, and he prayed to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in sincerity with tears, and the Most High gave him back his super strength. Okay, and he destroyed 3,000 Philistines, which is more people that he killed at his death than he did in his life. Okay, see, and this is the same goddamn ideology that these Edomites over there calling themselves God's chosen people and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. They're the only people that attend synagogues. Okay? So, I mean, you have to stop and think about this thing, man. You know, these people, they got to go, man. Okay? You know, I got so caught up, I forgot what book I was supposed to go to. Shit. Okay, let me go to Isaiah chapter 41. Where's it at? Isaiah chapter 41, verse 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. You see? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah will always choose Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the services of the Most High, and the promises. This is who he gave his law to. He didn't give this law to everybody on the fucking planet. That's the reason why these heathen nations got it fucked up on the Gentiles. The Gentiles are the Israelite foreigners that had been scattered amongst all the heathen nations, because that was part of our punishment that the Most High God had pronounced upon us for not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? From nation to nation, we've been scattered. And in these nations, we blasphemed his name. So he made it worse and worse and worse and worse upon us. Because in all of these heathen nations that we were scattered to, we knew who we were as Israelites. We knew our identity. The Most High promised that he would take our identity from us. Okay? And all of the heathen nations of the world are waking up to the fact that these Edomite devils are not who they claim to be. There's no way from what they've done. In the early 1930s and 1940s, right after World War II, the Palestinians and all of the other people of the global South lived in peace. There was no war over there, none. Okay, everybody got along because everybody believed, okay, and had faith in their God, right? No problem. And since the individuals that were these Bolshevik, these Amalekite Khazars, these converts, were looking for a place to stay, they went over into the Palestinian arid global South asking for a place to stay. The Palestinians were kind enough to open their doors to them. They opened their doors, no problem. Let them come and stay with them for a few years. Okay? They left for work, came back, and all the doors were locked. And then they were told that if you try to come into that house, they would be shot to death. A little bit later, I forgot, Joseph Ben Gurion, I think this is David Ben Gurion, okay, who was the leader of the Israeli people in the 1940s, okay, in 1948, pushed the Balfour Declaration that was originally signed by the British government of Lord Balfour in a letter to, what was his name, one of the Rockefellers or the Rothschild family, to purchase the land of Israel for the Israeli Bolshevik Khazarians, right? So David Ben Gurion went to the League of Nations and had them all agree that they would give these people, right, that land. And ever since they've been in that land since 1948, okay, ever since, there's been war. Now, the Bible says specifically that in the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 1, let's read it. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the tops of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from Jerusalem. Okay, and this is my point. Verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Now, if those people were God's chosen people, there wouldn't be any war. That's who they claim to be. That's the reason why the Palestinians allowed them to come in there, because they claim to be God's chosen people. from the lie that they told. And they convinced the entire world of this lie that it was the truth. So they went in there peaceably, okay, but war was in their heart. Let's go get it. Psalms chapter 55, verse 20, right? He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? That proves that they came in peaceably. Their words were smoother than the butter. We're God's chosen people. Let us in. Let us in. So the Palestinians let them in there. Now look, the Palestinian people are being exterminated by the very self-same people that they reached down and helped pull them up out of the mire, out of the gutter. Goddamn gutter rats. Ungodly devil sons of bitches. You see what I'm saying? So when we try to explain these things to you on the street corner, you think we're telling you a lie. We're preaching hate. The entire world is waking up to who these motherfuckers are. So now they need to use misdirection. Now they need to use, okay, this is basically what they need to do, okay, in order to try to regain control of the narrative. But they can't do it. Luke chapter 19, okay. Was it, I think it's, yeah, there it is. Luke chapter 19, verse 43. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. And this is what Agent Orange, aka Donald Trump, by direction of the Israeli lobbyists, AIPAC, AIPAC, IPAC, okay, where the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, as well as Congress and the Senate, have their hands deep in the pockets of the so-called deep state. And the deep state are these Israeli lobbyists that the United States government have been giving subsidies all the time, every year, $3.8 billion for over 70 years. That's the reason why the Israeli lobbyists are the richest people on the face of the fucking earth. Okay? Everybody's got their hand in their pocket. Okay? That's the reason why it's called governmental corruption. Okay? And so Agent Orange is trying to enact martial law. Okay? And they're trying to use this Charlie Kirk, James, what do you call him? Captain Kirk. They want to, because clearly he was an open racist concerning blacks, Latinos, and immigrants. Okay? Without actually thinking about and realizing what he was saying, because he's directly descended by blood from original immigrants that came to this country on a fucking boat. Okay? You see what I'm saying? And, he didn't say anything about that. That's a long time ago, right? This is what these devils do. Plausible deniability and misdirection. Okay? For the days that shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast his trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, through martial law, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee. And that's all they needed was something to wake up these Edomite Caucasians, because you have more guns and bullets in America than you actually have American citizens. So they're trying to activate the American citizens, the white factions of the American citizens, against the other people. And the other people are the minorities, right? Going into their neighborhood, exterminating people at random. Okay? This is what they're trying to do. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. Right? Before long, your enemies will build ramparts against your walls and encircle you and close in on you from every side. They will crush you into the ground, and your children with you. Your enemies will not leave a single stone in place, because you did not accept your opportunity for salvation. Okay? And the righteous men, the prophets, have been standing on street corners, risking their lives and their freedom and their families, their job, everything, to tell you to your face that it is time to receive salvation. It is time to repent, which means to change your mind from the wickedness and the wicked way of what you're doing. Come the fuck out of America and trying to be a goddamn American citizen. You know, doing what Americans do. Okay, which is do as thou wilt. Come away from that shit and start rehearsing the righteous acts, which is to fear the Most High and to keep His commandments. That's all we're asking you to do. That's it. And explain who did this to you. That's what we're doing. We have receipts. We show pictures of who did this thing to you, that took your identity, that claimed to be you and stole your land from you. Everybody else in the world, especially in the global south, know that the people that are over there now are not God's chosen people. Because I was supposed to make a sign, which I'll try to do that here in the near future, that shows what's it say? What was that guy's name? I forgot his name. Hold on, let me see if I can find that picture for you. Okay, let me see if I can find it. See if I can find that picture for me. Hold on, let me see. Where is that dude at? No, almost there. Gabal Abdul Nasir. Boom, boom, boom. Right? I was going to blow this up and put this on a picture and put that out there so this way the people can see it. Just blow it up. Right? So everybody in the global south knows that these people are not there. The war for Israel. When he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gabal Abdel Nasser, stated, "The Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white." Okay? So everybody's waking up to this fact. Everybody is waking up to this fact. These Edomite devils are trying to use misdirection and plausible deniability, saying that they are God's chosen people when they're actually not. And they're using misdirection to keep your mind off of the Epstein files, which is the revealing of Esau, Edom's wickedness. Okay? Okay, because if I was going to make a video about the FBI files as to who commits the most heinous crimes in America over the last year, over the last 5 years. And what I found was Esau Edom is at the fucking top. He's at the top, man. You name it. Arson, assault and battery, school shootings, pedophilia, rape, theft, fuck, man. You name a crime, man. They're at the fucking top, man. The so-called white man. And this guy, Captain Kirk, Charlie Kirk, has been telling a fucking lie to the entire world, saying that the blacks and the Latinos are the face of wickedness. You see? That's a form of misdirection. This motherfucker was a master of misdirection. Okay? And covering up the wickedness and evil that Esau Edom has done in order to take over the world. By bloodshed, rape, murder, pillage, hanging, lynchings, oppression. Okay? By trying to place blame on someone else. You see? That's the reason why these are so-called American citizens, they love Charlie Kirk. That's the reason why they love the son of a bitch. Let's go, let me go in here, let's go get, where was I at? Okay, did I put, hold on. Let me go see it. Hold on. Uh-oh, well, hold on, let me see, damn it. Let me go get, the FBI crime website over the past year, 2024. I was just looking at it, right? I'm like, you motherfucking lying snakes. You know what I mean? News releases, press release, podcasts, videos, speeches and testimony, more, short news, blogs, photos, social media sites, apps, whatever. I had it, let me see. They changed it from National Incident-Based Reporting System, hate crime statistics. Okay, hold on. overview map. Whatever, man. Okay, I was trying to find it. Okay, victims. Oh, scams of safety. By okay. Okay. Sort relevance by crimes committed by race. Search. Can I get it? Leader of violent California, whatever. Investigating human rights, blah, 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 blah. Top 10 fugitives, hate crime statistics. Man charged. Florida man who called race-based crimes committed by okay, ethnicity. Can we get that? Statistics on criminal offenses. That's what I was trying to find. Oh man, see, it didn't do all this bullshit yesterday. I just pulled it up and it just showed everything. I'm like, no, wow, And Edom is at the top, man. That's probably man, fraud, everything, man. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is at the top, man. I'm telling you, they're at the motherfucking top of everything. Let's go get misdirection. Boom. Misdirection is the deliberate act of diverting someone's attention to something else to conceal an important action or a fact. Okay, is this not what Agent Orange is trying to do, to divert your attention to mass shootings? Now watch, they're going to find an Edomite Caucasian that did this shit. If they're going to use Palantir, they're going to use Oracle, they're going to use that other one, OpenAI. Okay, that's what they're going to use, okay, in order to find the individual. The FBI is going to do, and the CIA is going to use this technology in order to find the person that shot Charlie Kirk. And they're going to find out it's a white individual that works for the goddamn CIA or the Israeli lobbyists. So they're going to cook up some wicked scheme saying that one of what do you call? They're going to pick some random black dude or Latino that just recently retired or just recently retired from the military, saying that he lost his fucking mind, okay, and place the blame on him. I guarantee it. This is the wickedness of these goddamn Edomite devils, man. Okay, it's misdirection. Okay, they don't want to be blamed for anything. They still holding on to the fact that they're white, which they're not. They're Edomites. The social construct of white and black were created in 1681 in what is now called West Virginia. Okay, to cover up their religious crimes, and the wickedness of the atrocious and the atrocities that they commit. Okay. That's the reason why they put white upon themselves and put black and Latino and all of these other racial epithets on other nations. So this way they could be and put themselves above using the sword. Okay? So he who liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. Right? Misdirection is the deliberate act of diverting someone's attention to something else to conceal an important action or fact. Often used in magic, storytelling, and even politics. It works by creating a powerful focus on a safe or interesting point so that the audience or observer overlooks the crucial secret action happening elsewhere. Okay, it involves managing audience attention, a central principle in magic, whether it's a large stage production or a smaller pocket trick. In literature and storytelling, misdirection is a literary device used to plant clues that the reader doesn't recognize as important until later, creating a surprise or a plot twist. The goal is to hide a clue in plain sight, but it must be visible to the reader at some point in the story to maintain fair play. in everyday life. Wrong direction. It can simply mean sending something or someone in the wrong direction. Political or criminal contexts. It's a tactic to prevent detection of one's true intent by misleading with appearances or actions. How it works. It's a psychological manipulation of interest. So was this deal with Captain Kirk, was that a psyop? Okay. Was he the fall guy in order for them in order to push this so-called Black Swan event, in order to push the anger and hatred, the perpetual racial hatred of Esau towards all minorities? Is that it? Because it sounds like it to me. Okay. Did you know that MAGA in Latin and Greek means witch or warlock or one who uses magic? That's what MAGA means. MAGA. Not Make America Great Again. The word MAGA means warlock, witch. Okay? You can go and type it in yourself. Okay? That's what it means. Fuck me up. And so I was like, wow, man. Okay, put it in ChatGPT, it'll tell you. Fuck me up. I was like, okay, wow, that's deep. So, okay. Now let me go in here and go get plausible. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Plausible deniability. Boom. Plausible deniability is the ability of a person or organization to deny knowledge of or responsibility for actions. Right? That's what Donald Trump's saying right now. Every time somebody asks him about the Epstein list, okay, this motherfucker goes straight off into denying knowledge of or having responsibility for. Right? Even if they were indirectly involved by creating a situation where their involvement cannot be definitively proven. That's what they're doing with the Epstein list. Every day they uncover something else Donald Trump has done and had something to do with pedophilia in these kids, okay? And they're coming now, they have to push martial law. Put your mind on something else, okay? So this way you can understand what time you're in. Okay, I mean that's basically what they're doing. This is achieved by not keeping a clear record of instructions, using ambiguous language, or creating informal chains of command, allowing senior members to claim ignorance if the actions become public or go wrong. Right? They could use indirect communication and start mowing people down, like it says in Luke chapter 19, verse 44. You know, they will lay thee even with the ground. They will come into your neighborhoods and kill men, women, and children with you and destroy your house. Right? Says the same thing in 2nd Ezra. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Right? Let me see, where is it at? Verse 67. Okay. Salakia. Let's get down here. Verse 68. Salakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 68, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right? Now this insurrection, is this not martial law? Luke chapter 19, verse 43 said the same thing. Man, let me go back. Okay, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and encompass thee round and keep thee in on every side. Before long your enemies will build ramparts against your walls and encircle you and close in on you from every side, and shall lay thee even from with the ground and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. NLT, they will crush you into the ground and your children with you. Your enemies will not leave a single stone in place, because you did not accept your opportunity for salvation. Says the same thing. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Okay? For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So it's not going to matter if you stockpile food, water, medicine, all of that shit, they're coming to take, because under martial law, the goddamn government could come and take all of that shit from you for the benefit of the military. Okay? In a time of civil unrest and national emergency. So what they're trying to do is create the ideology in your brain, use plausible deniability, while at the same time using misdirection and magic, okay, and to cover up what their actually true intent is to push martial law, okay, in order to control the minds and mindset of the masses of the people, okay, in order to destroy the elect of the house of Israel. That's the point. Those that fear the Lord, they're trying to destroy you. Okay, now you were warned. The prophets told you to your face, but you ain't paying attention. You still trying to out there chasing the bag, doing drugs, pussy popping, whatever, struggling, going to work every day. Pretty soon, ain't gonna be no jobs. Okay, just like it says in Isaiah 19, there should be no work in which the branch or rush may do. Okay. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Right? What is Revelation chapter chapter 2, right? Verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay? Don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. The devil will throw some of you into prison to test you. You will suffer for 10 days. Okay, now that 10-day period of time is just a period of time that you're going to be in there. It could be 10 hours. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 10 months. It could be 10 weeks. It could be, you know what I mean? You know, but with that number 10 is just giving you an idea of how long you're going to be in there. Okay? But if you remain faithful, which is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, even when facing death, I will give you the crown of life. Okay? Whoever is victorious will not be harmed by the second death. You see? And the second death is thermonuclear fire. To be burnt to a fucking crisp. That's a bad idea for you to be, position for you to be in. Right? Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8 says the same thing. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. Now, that fire of adversity means you're going to be put in prison, right? Okay, or you're going to be tried by not taking or being a participant in their cashless society. That's what they're trying to set up, where the only way it means that you'll be able to buy and sell using central bank digital currency or stable coin, world coin, okay, is to willingly participate in this cashless society. The only way you'll be able to do that is to take the mark of the beast, RFID chip, okay, which is an insignia of ownership that the United States government owns you as a citizen, okay? And they shall call on my name, I will hear them, I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is my God. Okay? Luke chapter 18. Right? I think it's 7. Right. Luke chapter 18, verse 7. And shall not the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Right? So the only people that they're going to be coming against are those that fear the Lord. And you have to first believe that he is in order to receive salvation. Right? Right. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right? 1 John chapter 3, verse 23. And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, Yahushai HaMashiach, and love one another. Right? So we must exhort one another daily to fear the Most High God and keep his commandments. That's the purpose behind these video epistles, right? As he gave us commandment. See? So, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. See? So, the Most High, he got his elect. He got it. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3.
Coca-Cola is fat.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do, man. Hold on. I'll just go get the other app. Okay? I'll just go get the other one. Boom. That way I ain't got to go through all that bullshit. Okay, hold on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die. So during this time, some of us are going to be martyrs for our faith in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the name of his only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay? It's a fact. It's saying it right here. Okay? In the sight of the unwise, and those being unwise are those putting their hands on the apple of the Lord's eye. Like it says in, in Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 8. No, Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. He that toucheth thee touches the apple of his eye. Right? These are the unwise. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. During the time of civil unrest and national emergency, martial law, that's when they're going to come in like madmen, sparing none. You see how everything came together? In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. Okay, skipping down. Verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love, which is to fear the Most High God and keep his commandments, as it is written in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And the only people that are men in the eyesight of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay, are the Israelites. Because the law, statutes, and commandments were given to them. Everyone else is wild brute beasts in the eye of the Most High God, because they don't have law, statutes, and commandments given them by the Most High. They were not chosen by the Most High. The only people called men are the Israelites. Period. Okay? They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. So the only people that understand this truth are the elect, that the Most High is going to purge one last good time to make sure that we should be tried as gold in the fire. And if you try gold in the fire and you melt it down, you clean off all the scum off the top, which is sin and iniquity, and it's reset up and solidified and shined up, you see your reflection. So the Most High God, you are that gold that has been shined up through faith. And the Most High looks and sees a reflection of himself within it. And then says, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter thou into the kingdom of the Most High. These are the words that you want to hear, man. You don't want to hear, get thee, I know thee not from whence ye are. You don't want to hear that shit, man. Okay? You don't want to hear those words, man. What you want to hear is, enter thou into the kingdom of the Most High. That's what you want to hear, man. Okay? At the end of the day, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. Okay? So the Most High, you're in the hand of the Most High. He's the one who's doing these things. Okay? Right? Let's go to Isaiah. Where was it right now? Isaiah chapter 44, verse 21. Right? Remember these, O Jacob, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee, thou art my servant, O Israel, thou shalt not be forgotten of me. Verse 22, I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions. Right? 1 John chapter 3, verse 4 states, he that sinneth transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. So these transgressions are our sins and iniquities that the Most High is going to blot out like a thick cloud, right? And as a cloud, thy sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. Okay? And how did the Most High redeem us? Through the propitiation and the blood, the sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, that he shed his blood for us, the elect, those that fear the Lord, that have that fear the Most High God and think upon his name. Right? Let me go get Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, and then let's get it. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. So if you come into this truth, calling upon the name of Yahweh, Yahushua, and the name of his only begotten son, his beloved only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and have faith in those names, the substance of things hoped for, have hope in those names, the Most High will spare you during the time of Jacob's trouble, which is at the door. Okay, these motherfuckers are surrounding you with military forces in every major city, man. Okay, they are creating a trench about you to come in upon you upon every side. Where are you going to go? Into your basement? Shit, they're kicking your door in to go in your goddamn basement, man. They're going to search every house from top to fucking bottom. Okay? If they hear anything moving above them in an attic, they're going to shoot through the fucking ceiling. Okay? These people have no mercy. Okay? And this gives them an opportunity to use their weapons that they've been dying to use. Okay? They're going out all out war because they're being revealed on a global scale of all of their wickedness, these Edomite Caucasian devils. So they got to try to use misdirection, plausible deniability, martial law by any means necessary to push their central bank digital currency, the mark of the beast. Okay, in order to get your ass to capitulate to what they're trying to do. If you don't, they'll just kill you. Fuck it, it doesn't matter. But know this, when you lay down and give up your last breath, just know that through faith in the names of Yahweh, Yahushua, and his only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach, you're going to be just fine. Okay, because like it says in 2nd Ezra, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 9, he hath care for his elect. Okay, and his mercy is to his saints. Who are the saints? Okay, let's go get, what's that? Psalms 149. Nope, verse 148. Sorry. 148, Salakia. Last verse. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. Okay? We're near into him the way we look, because in Revelation it tells you, chapter 4, verse 2 and 3, that the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, looks like a sardine and a jasper stone. Okay? Well, I'll go get a picture of what a sardine and jasper stone look like for you right quick. No problem. Let me go get it. Let me get it. It's in here. Is that? I'm gonna go the wrong direction. Let me see. Yep. Let's go get it. Cause I got a picture of what I took a screenshot of what a sardine stone. Well, I guess I could do it faster through the internet, huh? I could do it faster. Hold on. Let's go. Okay. Sardius and jasper stone. Right? Boom. Okay? Don't nobody else look like that. Uh-oh. Who else got a skin tone look like this on the place of the earth? Huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. He who sat on the throne looked like a jasper and a sardius stone. Revelation chapter 4, verse 3. Now you know what a jasper stone looks like. Sardius stone